These ones are super easy to spot because they have charts and graphs, tables. And again, we are going to ignore everything except for whatever we're trying to support. Some of these are not quite as obvious. Like if we look here, it says, using data to complete the example. But the example 9 out of 10 times is going to be some sort of a claim or a hypothesis or an assertion. We can see here that the sentence starting with participants says, participants' evaluations varied widely depending on which occupation was being considered. That is a statement that is claiming something. So basically, we are supporting that statement. And again, I want to put this into my own words. So this last sentence is basically the thing I want to support. And it does say, for example, right? So I'm going to give an example of this. Evaluations. So I'm going to say vary, depend, job. All right. So basically, they depend. The evaluations should vary a lot if we're talking about different jobs. That's kind of what I'm getting out of this. And this is probably like the caveman note that I would be writing to myself. And then again, we're going to start looking at the answer. So as part of, our ignoring the passage, we're also ignoring the graphic, which is super helpful. So choice A, 47 believe that it is somewhat likely, very likely, a robot could work as a teacher. So we have a robot working as a teacher. And then 37, robot. Okay, so choice A is out because it says it's going to vary depending on the job. Choice A only mentions one job. So another cool trick with these types of questions is you need to think about like, what ingredients do I need in my answer so that it's even something I could consider? The ingredients for this one require at least 2 different jobs being mentioned so that we can compare them, because we're supposed to have, a widely varied opinion based on the job. Choice B, 9% were neutral about robot, television news anchor. Okay, so here we have more than one. So this, let me see what it's actually saying. Neutral about whether a robot could work effectively as a television news anchor. Oh wait, so it's still just a robot as a news anchor. The first one was mentioning a teacher only. The robot is the thing that's consistent. So here we have news anchor. And this one talks about a surgeon. Okay, but it says the same percent. We're supposed to be looking for a difference. So we need at least 2 jobs. Robot is not a job. We need at least 2 jobs, and they need to be different. So B doesn't work. 82% believe it's somewhat likely or very likely a robot could work as a tour guide. But only 16% believe that it's somewhat or very likely a robot could work as a surgeon. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. We have very different percentages and 2 different jobs. And then choice D, 62 believe it's somewhat or very likely fire. Okay, only 1 job. Cool. So just using those ingredients, we needed at least 2 jobs being compared, not given the same percentage. So choice C there would be our answer. All right. Let's do one more. This is a hard one, and I'm going to go ahead and do another. And when I say hard, it means College Board rates it as hard. I just want to show you what College Board considers hard, so you can see that these strategies actually do work on hard questions. And go ahead and try this on your own for sure. In this case, the conclusion, team concluded there's evidence that this meteorite, nucleobases in the meteorite formed in space, not contamination on Earth. So I'm pulling out stuff from space, not Earth. All right. Choice A, stuff detected in both meteorite samples. I'm going to make the connection that meteorite means space, not in soil. I'm going to make the connection that soil means Earth. If you didn't make this connection, it would be totally fine to cherry pick the passage a little bit and figure out what the words mean, but I think I get it. So choice A I'm going to hold on to because I see the stuff not from Earth, not from the soil sample, but yes, detected in the space. So choice A I'm going to keep because of that. Choice B, stuff, detected in both meteorite samples and in the soil. So this one, we have, the Earth and we have the space, but it's saying that we see the stuff in Earth, but we don't want it on Earth. We only want it on space. So choice A is good. Choice B is not good. Choice C, stuff, detected in both meteorite samples and in soil sample. Same thing. It says that we get it in space and Earth, but we only want it in space. Choice D, stuff detected in meteorite sample 1, but not in sample 2. That one doesn't even have both ingredients. Remember the ingredients thing? I need to at least have some mention of the Earth and the space, aka the meteorite and the soil. So D doesn't even follow the rules. So it's got to be choice A. Boom. And again, that's a hard question. So last thing I want to point out before we move on, just like with rhetorical synthesis, this is going to work a lot of the time. But if you have more than one answer that you like and that you keep, don't just choose one. At that point, you do want to probably look at your table or your graph or whatever, because then it's trying to figure out, okay, which one of these is actually lying to me.